Today we're going to be starting on decimal place value. So we're going to go, we have our bundle 1 tab. We're going to go over here to bundle 2. It's kind of this light green. It says bundle 2 fractions and decimals. And we're going to open up to that page. If you look, it says we are going to represent tenths and hundredths, make connections between fractions and decimals, represent, rename equivalent fractions, use benchmark fractions, and compare whole numbers and fractions on bundle 2A. This is what we will be working on the next 2 weeks. You're going to take this tab and you're going to turn the page to the next page, and at the top you're going to write decimal place value. Okay, then you're going to take this place value page that I gave you. You're going to turn it over, and if you have stick glue, you're going to go around all the edges. But if you have liquid glue, you only need 4 dots, 1 in each corner. And you're going to glue this in right below where it says decimal place value. Okay, once you have that all nice and glued in there, on yours, over here it says thousands. I was able to wipe mine out, but I didn't get to on yours. So over here it says thousands on yours. Mark it out where it says thousands. Mark out thousands. In 4th grade, we will only be looking at tenths and hundreds. When you get to 5th grade, that's when you'll see that thousands. Okay, so this is decimal place value. It says millions through thousands. So we're going to start over here to the left of the decimal. We know that our place value, this is what we worked on last week, goes ones, tens, say it with me, hundreds. And what do I have right here between my hundreds and thousands? Yes?
A line.
Yes, a comma, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put, even though it doesn't have a comma, oops, I put it in the wrong spot. Even though it doesn't have a comma on here, I'm going to go ahead and put that in here so I can remember I need a comma there. And then I have, say I'm with me, my thousands, my 10,000s, and my 100,000s. I have another group of 3 there. So what do I need? Who can tell me? Javier, what do I need after that group of 3? That's right, a comma. So I'm going to put another comma, and then I have my millions. Who can remember what each of these 3 groups or chunks are called? When I have ones, tens, hundreds, and then another group, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. What are those called, Eliana? Period. And so right here, from our ones to our hundreds, who remembers what period that is called? Jade?
Ones.
Very good. So we're going to write down here our ones period. And I know you have this back in Bundle 1A, but it's not going to hurt for us to have it again. And then who can tell me what this period is called from the thousands to the 100,000s? Yes?
The thousands period.
Very good. Okay, and who can tell me what this last group is called?
Millions period.
Very good. Millions period. Okay, so we have, these are all of our whole numbers. Then we have something new that we didn't have on our last place value chart, and that's a decimal. And if you read what it says right here, it says decimal point read as what? What word does it say, everyone? Everyone? It says it on your paper. And. Okay, so when we read numbers and we see a decimal point, we say and at it. Then we have our tenths and our hundreds. I'm going to underline the THS there, because otherwise it looks like these words over here, tens and hundreds, but those THSs on each of them let us know that it means decimal. All right, so now down here below our place value chart, we're going to take some notes. We're going to write, decimals. What is a decimal? So who can tell me what is a decimal, or what do you think a decimal is? Ella? Yes, it's a period or a dot that is read as and. Does anyone know what the numbers to the right of the decimal point equal, or what they mean? Okay, a decimal, and remember I have it underlined because it's vocab. A decimal, it means part of a whole. So if it's a decimal, it's part of a whole number, and I can put that number in there too. And really, I probably should say decimal number, but we know what that means, I think. For example, we're going to put an EX down here. For example. .6 or 6/10 is 6/10 of a whole. And I'm going to draw a picture for what that means, and I want you drawing that picture as well. Okay, I'm going to have a box divided into 10 sections. Okay, so since we're doing 6/10 is 6/10 of a whole, we're going to color in 6 lines. 1, 2, you're just going to shade them in lightly with your pencil. 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 10 total that I drew shaded. Yes, Griffin. Okay, so right here I have 6/10 shaded. 6 out of the 10 are shaded. The whole box is not shaded in. That's why it's labeled as 6/10, written as a decimal because it is part of a whole. So the whole box is not shaded in, only part of it. And since my number is 6/10 and it's in the tenths place, that means only 6 of them are shaded. The next thing we're going to write down is just good information for us to know. Now, we're going to also have to talk about hundreds, but I'm going to show you that here in a moment. So right now, I want to look at what half means in decimal form. So half as a decimal. And we're going to go ahead and underline that because you need to know this. It's very important. So for half as a decimal, I'm going to show you the two ways that you can write half as a decimal. One way is 0.5. That means I have no whole numbers and I have 5/10 because it's my tens place. So 5/10 is equal to half. Okay, so anytime you see anything 0.5, whether it be 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 100.5, that 0.5 means half. The other way is, who can tell me what half of $1 is? Tyler? 50 cents. So without my cents sign, I'm going to show what 50 would look like for 50 cents. That's another way to write half. If I had a dollar sign or a cent sign, I would have 50 cents. I don't have to have that for this to equal half, but 50 cents is half of $1. So 0.50 is half of one whole. Okay, see how the two are similar? We have 0.5. One of them just has a 0 and one does not, but they are both the same thing. They are both half. Who has a question on that? So up here we looked at tenths. Now we're going to look at hundredths as decimals. And I have 2 hundredths charts. I'm going to put one in here, right here. And we're going to look at how much this is worth. Now, I want you to look at it compared to the one that we drew up here. Or if I do another one, and I show you a better looking one on tenths. So if I looked at this one right here for tenths, notice how the lines are going just up and down, and it's divided into 3. Who can tell me how many tenths this one right here would be? Yes, sir, Isaiah? How many are shaded?
I'm not sure shaded.
Mm-hmm. 3. 3, and it's out of the 10. So this one is 3 tenths are shaded. But look at this box compared to this one. On this one, I have 10 rows going up and down, just like this one, but now I have some going across. So this right here tells me I have 100. This right here is called a hundredths chart. So these are divided into tens. Well, this has tens going across, but then it's divided here too. So each of these boxes are 1 unit, and there are 100 total. So if I want to make these into a decimal, I need to count how many boxes I have. Do you think I need to go 1, 2, 3 and count all these like that? No. If you look, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 in each row. That means I can count by tens. So count by tens with me. 10, 20, 30. Oh, not a full row, so I'm going to hold on. 40, 50, 60. Now my row that is not full, I'm going to count by ones. So 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. So I have 69 little boxes out of this 100 shaded. So if I'm looking at my place value chart, that means I'm going to be going over to my hundredths. And I want you to notice that there's 2 places to the right of my decimal. So I'm going to put right here a line and a decimal line. I'm going to fill in all those lines. So right here to the left of my decimal, if I remember from up here, that's my ones place. That means that this whole box would have to be filled in to have a number right here. So do I have a whole box where every single one of these little squares are shaded?
Yeah. No.
No. So how would I show no box is shaded? What number would I put? 0. Now, who can tell me how many little squares did we have shaded in? Yes, Jane?
69.
69. So I'm going to put 69 right here. Now, to say this number, we're going to say 69, and that 9 is in the hundredths, so it's going to be 69 hundredths. Everyone say this number with me. 69.